What's the global consumer trend today?
Well, global consumer trends is it's not very it's not something that you don't know. Globally people are connected. Being connected is stronger than ever. If you just look at the face value, it's something that you may already know. It's the insight that you need to extract out of what you see globally. That makes I think that's the different drivers for making products successful or not in the marketplace.
Such as, what's the insight?
Such as insight is really based on your own view of the world. So for example, when you say the urbanization trend is getting stronger, so houses are becoming smaller. So let's just make everything smaller. In my mind, that's a very linear insight. It's not much of an insight. It's more like, if I give you an example, houses are getting smaller, people are getting more urbanized. Therefore, what used to be trapped inside the house is being spread across, not just within the house, but across all the community. So, for example, instead of brewing and making coffee at home, taking a long time, people would just go out and grab a Starbucks. Instead of going through extensive laundry process, people would just give that to outside dry cleaner. So if that's the kind of insight, then what we would like to respond is, how do we bring, for example, dry cleaners into home even more efficiently? How do we bring the entire cafe into home, even more efficiently? So for example, bringing cafe into home, maybe Nespresso did it, Instead of going outside, people started consuming Nespresso because it's chic, it's cool, they feel like that they have the entire cafe in their home.
กล้อง Dual View ของ Samsung เป็นหนึ่งในผลงานที่มียุนซีลีอยู่เบื้องหลัง โดยเป็นกล้องที่มี 2 หน้าจอ เพื่อตอบโจทย์ไลฟ์สไตล์คนรุ่นใหม่ที่ชอบถ่ายรูปตัวเอง และแชร์รูปผ่านสื่อสังคมออนไลน์
Now for the dual view camera feature, can you please explain how it comes out from ideas and turn into a product?
Sure. I think this was 2008-9 when social media was at its infant stage. There were lots of different social medias. Like MySpace was one big one back then. Yeah. Facebook was just getting bigger. We looked at what kind of photos are being posted on those social sites. One thing that was very interesting was, I think over 70% of people were taking photos of themselves. So the trend is like, taking picture doesn't mean taking an external focusing object, it was taking you.
Always.
Right. So the idea was brought up from that fashion. Now, you may think that it's really easy to go from idea, then there's a product, but the journey is much more complex than that. Because when you introduce concepts like that, even at that time, the phones were getting bigger, larger, LCD screens were getting bigger and larger. It was very difficult to source a very small LCD screen. No one would want to sell them. For example, engineering division thought that it was a better idea to, instead of using LCD, have a sensor that beeps when it detects your face, which is a very functional solution, but it doesn't really address the emotional satisfaction of seeing you.
Right.
So, PIT, or the marketing role, is really to emphasize the core value proposition of how the concept came about. So that was a very intense, grueling, a year, maybe even longer work, and then we announced it. The internal project code was called Columbus. We announced it at the Columbus Circle in New York, I believe in 2009, summer of 2009, and since then it has become quite successful.
อีกหนึ่งนวัตกรรมล่าสุดของ Samsung ในปี 2013 ที่ผ่านมาคือ Galaxy Gear นาฬิกาอัจฉริยะที่เชื่อมต่อกับสมาร์ทโฟนใช้โทรศัพท์ได้อ่านข้อความได้นอกเหนือจากการใช้ดูเวลาอย่างนาฬิกาทั่วไป
One of the latest products from Samsung is the watch, the Galaxy Gear watch. Is that also a product which is part of the process of the PIT?
Yes. So many different organizations obviously collaborated to the birth of that product. but we're proud to say that some of the early stage concepts were spun out of our own initiatives looking at the next generation cell phone. So, like cell phone 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, we kind of thought that 1.0 was defined by Motorola. It's the entire pocket in your phone. Cell phone 2.0 was defined by BlackBerry RIM. It's the email in your pocket. We think, phone 3.0 was defined by Apple. It's the entire internet in your pocket. We wanted to think about what's the 4.0 that we could lead. And one of the ideas were related to wearables. Wearable in the context that it's not a small phone. It's actually working with your phone to enhance the experience better. So 1 + 1 is equal to 3 type of experience, not just offloading some of the functions here to the phone, to your wrist. So some of those early insights were the foundation of, one of the foundations of how the Galaxy Gear came about today.
When Samsung launches a new product like the Galaxy Gear, are you like 100% confident that it will sell?
Nothing's 100% confident. I don't think even Steve Jobs thinks that everything that he builds is 100% confidence. But if you don't have confidence as product designers or product planners, from the start you're losing the game. I mean, if you're not convinced, how are you going to convince others, right?
Which products for you is most challenging in coming up with something new all the time?
Something like air conditioner is very challenging.
Air conditioner?
Yes. Air conditioner is very challenging because people don't usually have emotional connection with air conditioner. Also, products like air conditioner is very engineering intensive. And you don't interact a lot with air conditioner. I mean, you don't fall in love with air conditioner. You come to your room and I say, oh, I love my air conditioner.
I don't even think about it.
Yeah, it's, exactly, like you don't think about it. So how do you create a product that's so seamlessly working in the background, yet when you want to consider buying a new air conditioner, you want to come and buy our air conditioner compared to our competitors. So is it just the core functionality? Are there other emotional elements to it? So figuring that out is very, very challenging.